I want to thank Jim, first off, inviting me down here. It is a great privilege to have the opportunity anytime to share what God's done in my life. It's not a it's not very often that I get opportunity to share what God has done in my life to this many people at one time. Normally it's just a one-on-one encounter or something like that. So I'm very blessed. First off, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. As growing up as a kid, I was raised very poor. I was raised in a house. My dad was alcoholic, and my mother was addicted to pain pills. She was a drug addict. Sorry. Is that better? Okay, great. Like I said, I was raised in a house. I was very poor. My dad was alcoholic. My mother was a drug addict. We were raised very poor. My mother got checks every month from the government, and it helped us out. And there was money there as long as my dad didn't steal it from us to go buy alcohol. The house we lived in was infested by rats. I even got bit on my hand one time by a rat. So I say all that so you kind of imagine the life that I live. So one night my dad got real drunk, and he burned down our house. It was pretty awful. So we had to rely on the community to help us out. We got reestablished in a trailer court. I grew up in that trailer court. At this time, I'm about 14, 15 years old, and I started experiencing with some things. I started drinking at age 15. I started experiencing in sex. My first kid, I conceived whenever I was 15. But then it was really all about me and fulfilling my pleasures and what made me happy. And that's what my life was about, what made me happy. So then I started hanging out with some guys, and they taught me how to go out and steal car stereos. I'd done that for money. I was 17 and I was convicted of felon. I moved out of my house. I moved in with my girlfriend. I was 19, she was 16. We lived together. Got married to her 2 years later because she got pregnant. So, but still then, being married, now we have our own house, or then we had our own house, and I had 2 kids then, and there was something still inside of me that wasn't satisfied. I still could not please myself. And the problem is I was trying to become my own God. I thought I knew what was best for me. I had done what was in my best interest. See, my whole life, we weren't raised in church. We didn't have a Bible in our house. I was ignorant about God. And that was my problem. I didn't know who God was. Later on down my life, a couple years, me and my wife at the time, we got divorced. I started to indulge in alcohol more. Started going out to the bars. I lived a life of fulfilling my pleasures. I became a weekend alcoholic, didn't even realize it. For the things I hated my dad for, I was doing. Because I wanted to fulfill my own pleasures. So, during that time, I got invited to church. I was like, well, sure, why not? I clean up myself a little bit. I quit drinking a weekend. I'll go to church. I even had even thought, well, yeah, I'll clean up my act. I'll go to church. I'll even lose some weight, go buy me a nice outfit, go to church. I got invited to church. After about 2 or 3 weeks, it wasn't too bad. Sang some songs. Guy got up there and preached a little bit. And it was about in the 3rd week that God revealed to me who I was. And not only who I was, but He revealed to me who He was.
Praise God.
That's right. It was precious. But before it was precious, I was miserable. See, God revealed to me that I was selfish, that I wanted to feel my pleasures. He revealed to me that I was an adulterer, and I was a drunkard, and I was condemned to hell if I didn't submit to what He had for me, if I didn't submit to Him. See, the problem was, again, like I said, is I didn't know who God was. I've always heard growing up through my life, well, God is love. And He is love. And I've always heard, well, God is love. So in my mind, well, God's love. I'm okay. There's nothing I have to really do. I'm good. But see, that was my problem. I didn't know really who God was. See, first off, thing I want to tell you about God is a creator. He's the creator. He created everything. The stars in the sky that you look at night bow down before Him. He speaks His word to the oceans and the waves, and He tells them where to go. And He's created us. And He's created us to worship. And the problem is we'll either worship God or we'll worship ourselves and what we want. And that's where I found myself. That's where God showed me I was worshiping myself. See, in the Bible, God says there's 2 ways that you will know that He is God. And it's by His creation, the leaves on the tree, the grass. Somebody had to create this. It's more than us. And your conscience. He says in His Bible, His Word, you will know that He is God by your conscience. You can go to the most remote village in India, pull out a guy of a hut and ask him, is murder right or wrong? Is rape right or wrong? And he knows. God has created each and every one of us to know morally the difference between right and wrong. And God showed me that. And I obeyed my conscience. God was talking to my conscience and I obeyed it. And I submitted my life to Him.